Hello, it's Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Coming with a blog post we want to share with you, review, of course, the latest in social media and technology. This is an exciting product from a company that's almost a household name when it comes to iOS, iPod, iPhone, and iPad products. This is the Griffin brand. You can probably find it all the time at GriffinTechnology.com. That's GriffinTechnology.com. As you may know, they make so many products, it's insane to keep up with. They make a lot of great products for iOS devices and for a lot of other things too, for that matter. This is their beacon. The beacon is a universal remote control that gives you total control with your iPhone, your iPad, or your iPad Touch of TVs and I believe your other media devices. We're going to open this and find out. It works with the iPod, the iPad, and the iPhone. And it's powered by an app that you can download on the App Store called Digit. So we'll get into more of what that's about and how it works. Let's go and open this baby up. Now you can see it's a very good looking, smooth, beautiful device. As you can see here from its pamphlet opening, you can see that it will control, looks like TVs, stereos, DVD players, Blu-rays, all the different stuff. And of course you can see here some of the screenshots from the Digits. So the Digit app, and it looks like some of this might be from the Beacon app. So we're going to find out here. Of course, your journey is the same as mine. Looking down the back here, you can see people can use this with their iPads, their iPods, and everything else. It's your own personal remote control that controls all your stuff. It controls more than 200,000 audio, video, and home automation components. Only 200,000, that's all. Totally customizable setup beacon for multiple locations, powered by the Digit app, which includes interactive program guides for every cable, satellite, and over-the-air system in U.S. and Canada. That's nice, they let Canada in on it. Cool. Now this looks like off of Bluetooth. So we've got Bluetooth is the range of up to 30 feet. We've got an IP range coverage 130 feet, 180 degrees. It's powered by 4 AA batteries, and it's got auto reconnect, auto power down. And we read some of the details there on the Digit app. Let's turn it over this way, and I think we're going to get, you can see some of who it's made for. iPod Touch, second, third, fourth generation, iPhone 4, 3GS, and 3G. It'll work on the iPad 2 and the iPad 1, and I'm sure it works on iPad 3 and iPad 4S, and it requires iOS 4.0 or later. So we're going to open this little puppy up and see what's inside, shall we? Now, Griffin, as you may know, like I said, if you ever go to the Apple Store, you can see a ton of Griffin products at the Apple Store. So they're very well known to the Apple iOS systems, products, and they know how to build great devices. And since Apple loves them, we all should too, right? Steve Jobs approved, if you will. So let's take a look at what we get inside the box. We've got a user manual that will tell us everything we need to know about this wonderful product. Looks like we've got a plastic pop-off case, and they were nice enough to give us batteries. I remember the good old days weren't always good because they never give you the batteries. Not Griffin, but back in electronics, back in the 70s and 80s when I grew up. Looks like there's a warranty thing. So what's really cool is they give you those batteries. And let's take a look at the device itself. I feel like I should be calling E.T. or something on this. Kind of looks kind of spatial, space, the final frontier. Doesn't that guy from Star Trek wear that on his chest? No, I'm just kidding. Great, I'm going to hate mail from Star Trek fans. Anyway, this is the device. You can see that it tells you where to point it towards your TV and your audio systems, and where to point it towards where you'll have your remote, which of course will be your iPhone, your iPad, your iPod. And you could open up this case here, and there you can put in your batteries. And that's really cool. And boy, it really is good looking. You wouldn't mind having that sitting around your house, huh? Looks really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug it in for a day or two, test it out, come back and tell you what we really think. Okay, folks, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Digit app. This is the app from the iOS that you can utilize on your iPad. And you can see here there's several different features of it and what goes into it. Now, at the very upper left-hand corner, we can choose between TV listings, TV shows, and Netflix. What's really cool is if you have shows that you programmed into Facebook, you can easily play those, or not play those, but you can bring in the menu items and the details of them. We'll show you that here in a second into the area. So you can also have access to your Netflix queue and several other elements of your Netflix you recommended for you, some other different titles here, new arrivals. You can see some of the stuff. Unfortunately, you can't press a button on these on the left-hand side and have it start playing on your device, but it is great that it gives you the access to that data. Now, when you click on something, you can see here that in the middle, in the landscape mode, it shows you a summary. You've got social activity you can switch to. You've got related titles that you can take a look at, cast and crew of the movie or TV show, and then related YouTube videos, which is kind of cool. You can really kind of get in depth into what you're watching or what you're doing. You can also see in the bottom, you can check in with a thumbs up. You can give it a post to a Facebook or Twitter. You can even add your comment, hey, I'm watching Trailer Park Boys, one of my favorite Canadian shows. So you can see that there. Let's go ahead and see. This is what it would look like in the landscape version if you were to look at it. That's going to look a little weird for some of you, but that's okay. Just want to give you a quick heads up as to what that looks like. Now, what's really great is you can choose between TV listings of using an antenna, you can see here, or you can choose between cable, satellite. It will suck in all the relative channels and shows that are playing, and so you can go to your favorite shows and see what's playing and all that good stuff. So they've got it really tuned in very well, like what they do with it. You can even see digit likes on there. Oops, looks like we crashed. So we'll pull that back up, probably because we're recording the screen here at the same time. So what you can see here is you can see TV listings on the left, what's on. You can, of course, program this for your date and time that you're in your time zone. You can change different rooms from the living room. You can add multiple rooms. We just had the living room in here now. And you can also choose devices that you have. We've got the Sony in this room, the Philips TV, the Sony receiver. And what's really cool is we have the Apple Media Player. Now we have Apple TV, and that's what this is hooked up to. And we have the Apple Remote. And one of the problems with the Apple Remote is it's so small and so thin, it always gets lost. And it's almost useless with most of the menu that's on it. So what's really nice is they have the Apple Media Player that will kick in here as a remote, so you can actually forget about that stupid thin little remote that Apple gives you that's always getting lost, and you can use it here on this thing. I haven't tried it with our Macintosh, but I'm sure it will work because the codes for the Apple remotes are usually the same, and they work both the same remote that will work on my Apple TV works on my Macintosh. So I can't figure they're going to be different. So that works out really nice. Of course, you can add a multitude of other devices. It says on the box they will take up to 200,000 codes, and I got to tell you, it was one of the easiest code setups I've ever been through. The codes move really quick, and within 2 or 3 options, I had them hooked in. And it was the most brainless thing I've had to do with codes in the longest amount of time. Usually I have to start entering them manually and playing with it. Now on the bottom right hand corner here, you can see that we've got the Philips TV brought up, and of course as we click through the different devices, you can see a small menu. If we do click up here on the top middle next to the living room, just the left of it, that box, you can get a blow up of the remote, so you can get rid of all that other data, social data and show data, and you can just have really nice big buttons for yourself. Or you can minimize it back down again, and you can deal with it. What's really nice is you got access to your mute button if you want to take and mute something. The volume works on a dial basis, which is really efficient. You got TV, DVD from our Sony receiver here. Really easy to switch between all the different things on here. So we really like it. In the settings, you can add devices, activities, you can remove remotes, edit remotes. In the settings area, you can even see the battery level that's on the beacon, which is really nice. You can do different guide options for setting up HD sports, pay-per-view, TV listings, all that good stuff. You set up your account for your whatchamacallit, for your for set up your account for Digit. And let's see, you can select TV tuners, etc., all that good stuff. So pretty simple and easy to do. It's almost too simple. It's kind of cool. But I really love it and had a great experience with it. So moving on. Okay, folks, so after a couple days of rigorously testing the Griffin Beacon Universal Remote Control, we are super impressed with it, and we've always been impressed with Griffin products. They do very well. One of the really cool things about it is it's so easy to use. When you want to wake it up from a sleep, it has a sleep mode that will turn off to conserve your batteries. You can just push it down once, and you'll see the lights light up. What's really great, too, is I have an iPad, and I also have an iPhone, and I have the Digit program on both the iPad and iPhone, and I just kind of use whatever one's more comfortable and closest by me to take and use. What's really great is you can switch very easily between the two to reactivate itself. You can bring it out of Bluetooth. You can also go into the phone and pull up the Bluetooth menu, click on the beacon link on the Bluetooth menu, and you can switch between the two. So it makes it very easy to use multiple devices with the beacon. Very cool that way. You've seen some of the software and how it works. The other thing we really like is that it works on batteries. It would be nice kind of to plug it in, but I got to tell you, we have another device that we use prior to this that was a plug-in, and one of the problems is you always had to be able to plug it in somewhere, and it would take up space and of course take up juice. The plug was very big, and it was really hard to get it in this place between your iPhone, your iPad, and also be able to direct it towards the TV. It was always inconvenient because it always had to be plugged in, so there was like only a certain length you could take and utilize it with. The great thing about this having the batteries is you can put this almost anywhere as long as it will hit your range of media, you know, your stereos and TV, and it works great. The other thing was the ease of setup was awesome on it. It was the easiest setup I've ever done with one of these sort of remotes. It definitely had all the different codes. It quickly set up through my TV and all my other different things, and it knew what the codes were. It didn't take a lot of work. It was very easy. Some things that I've had to manually program, especially my Philips TV. That's usually been a pain in the butt. But the Griffin got them all, zapped them in. Within I think about 5 minutes we had all of our different components in here, and of course you can put multiple rooms and all that good stuff. So overall, definitely an A+. We love the Griffin Beacon product. Very, very cool. What's nice is you can get this also in the Android version where it will work with Android phones. You do have to buy a separate one. This is of course an iOS device. So be sure to check for that if you're a big Android phone fan and you have those phones. And of course there's now the Android tablets. You can get those through the Beacon. So we're very impressed with the product. Be sure to check it out. Go to griffintechnology.com. That's griffintechnology.com, and be sure to pick up their universal remote control, and you'll have lots of fun with it, and so do we. So definitely love the product. Be sure to check it out. It certainly is a great, quick, and easy way to do your TV. The one thing you find is that you always have your phone with you, but you don't always have the remote. And one thing that is nice too is I usually take my phone to bed or my iPad to bed to watch a movie or something. If I've left the TV on, it's really great, nice and easy just to log into the digital remote system and turn the TV on from another room or from across the room. So that makes it work really well for turning off the TV. And you're like, wow, I didn't even have to get up and go find the remote in the dark. So thanks for coming by the ChrisVossShow.com. Be sure to check back often and look for more Griffin products that we'll be reviewing. And give them a look up. Let them know Chris Voss said to take a look at Griffin.